Hello friend, welcome back. In this video, I want to discuss about how you can set up Python and Django in your system. So first of all, I want to check it. So if you want to check it that Python is already installed or not. So if you want to check it, then you have to go to your CMD. So I just simply open our command prompt, and into the command prompt, if you write as a Python, if you write as a Python, click on the enter. And here you can see I have already installed that Python in our system. For the reasons it's now showing as a Python 3.8.3. So if Python is not installed in your system, then you cannot display this type of one of the message. So right now I have already installed it. For the reasons it's now showing as a Python install and also showing as a Python version. So right now I'm installed that Python version as a 3.8.3. So if you want to install that Python, then you have to go to a Python official website, that is a python.org, and here you have to go to that downloads. And into the downloads, here you can see there is our downloads and the latest version for Windows, and that is also one of the button as a download Python 3.8.3. So right now the latest version is Python 3.8.3. So now all you have to just click on here. Then you can see it's automatically downloaded in your system. So that is 25 megabyte one of the file. So it may take little time. So you have to wait for it. So now here you can see friend, it's not totally downloaded. So there you have to just open that exe file. Then it should be displayed this type of one of the pop-up message as a do you want to run this file. So now if you have to click as a run. And then from to this position, you have to install it. It's pretty much simple, one of the software that you have to install. Okay, so here I have already installed it. For the reasons it's now showing as a modify, repair, and the uninstall. So right now I have already installed it. So for the reasons we don't need to install it again. I hope you can well understand about it. So it's pretty much simple software. You have to download it and install it in your system. So I have already installed it. For the reasons here you can see it's now showing as a Python 3.8.3. I am installed. Okay, so right now our Python is installed, and now I want to install our Django. So if you want to install that Django, the procedure will be the same. You have to open your CMD, that means the command prompt. Into the command prompt, here you have to type as a pipe and the install Django. So you have to write down as a pipe and install Django. And here pipe is one of the tool. Okay, so for installing that Django, that is one of the tool as a pipe. So after that you have to click as a enter. So right now here you can see friend, it's now showing as a already satisfied. That means Django is already installed in my system. For the reasons it's actually showing like that way, rather than if this Django is not installed in your system, then it should be downloading all that file from the internet and it should be installed in your system. Make that sure you are connected with the internet when you run that pipe install Django. Okay friend, so with this command you can actually install that Django. So if you want to check it, like right now I have already installed that Django. So if you want to check it, then you can check it with the pipe. Okay, pipe list, click on the enter, and here you can see Django is already installed in my system. For the reasons it's now showing as a Django 3.0.6. So I have installed the Django 3.0.6, and we will create our project with using this version. Okay friends, so if you want to check that Django is installed it or not, you can check it with this pipe list. So now I want to create one of the Django projects. So if you want to create it, like right now we don't need this. If you go to your exercise file, and into the exercise file, this is the file I will share with you. Okay, so that is our exercise file, all the things we will do in particular that folder area. So into this folder I want to create one of the folder. Into this desktop I have created one of the folder as the exercise file folder, and into the exercise file folder I want to create one of the folder name, and I just name it as a Django. Okay, Django test. So I just simply define that name as a Django test. So this type of one of the folder I want to create. Okay, so here I just name it as a Django test, and now in particular that folder area I want to create one of the Django project. So if you want to create it, like first of all here you have in particular that folder area you have to define as a CMD. Now you can see it's now perfectly getting our system, and then that into the desktop that is our folder as exercise file folder, and into the folder that is our Django folder. Okay, so into the particular this folder area I want to create one of the project, that is a Django project. So if you want to create one of the Django project, then you have to write down as a Django Django, and then admin, and then the start project. Okay, start project. And now I want to create one of the project name as a my fast, and then project. Okay, so that means this will be your project folder. Okay, so it should be created this type of one of the folder. So here I just defined that our project name will be my fast project. Okay friends, so now if you click as a enter, so now you can see it's now perfectly redirected to our Django test. That means in our Django test folder is now created one of the project name that I defined as a my fast project. So you can see that is actually the my fast project. So into the my first project, in particular that folder area, it should be created one of the manage files. So I will discuss about that things later. And also it should be created with the same name, another folder. And into the folder area, that is our URL, that is our settings. So step by step, I will discuss about every file with you. Okay, so right now it should be created this type of one of the folder and one of the manage file, that is our manage.py. Okay friend. But here one things I want to share with you. When you create one of the Django project in your system, first of all, it's may show some of the message, like when you run as a Django admin, so it should be display this type of some of the message, like as a Django admin is not recognized as an internal and the external command. So if you want to solve it, you will get a lot of the resources from to the Google, or rather than I will also share some of the resources with you end of this video. I hope it will help you. So here you have to do actually, if you go to your desktop, so here if you go to the desktop, into the desktop in your computer, you have to go to that our properties. And into the properties, then you have to go to that your advanced, that is the advanced system setting. Into the advanced system setting, if you go to that environment, and into the environment, here you can see that is our system variable, one of the path. So if you click on here into this position, you have to create new path. So here you can see I just defined some of the new path, and here I just simply define that path on particular that area. So you have to actually define your path. So if you want to find out that a specific file location, then you can also do that work. Then you have to run your command. That means in your command prompt here, if you search with the pip3, okay, if you search with the pip3 show Django and click on the enter, and now here you can see it's now showing as a location. And to the location, that is our C drive, that is the user, that is our PC name, and that is one of the app data, the local packages. So in particular that area, so that is the actually file package that you have to define that path. Okay, so into this file position, in particular that area, that have also one of the folder as a script. So you have to actually add that script. So here you have to add it, like here you can see after that Python, that is a 3.8, and after that I just added that script. Okay friends, so here you have to first of all add this path, so then you cannot actually getting this type of one of the error. So after first of all you have to solve it. So right now I have already added that path in our system. For the reasons you can see, they have no error. So it's now perfectly creating our project. So here it's now perfectly creating our project, right? So that is our project, it's now perfectly created. So that is our project. So now here, if you want to access this folder, so right now we are on particular that folder area. So right now you can see now we are actually in our Django and the text folder. So that is our text folder. So into the text folder, I have already created one of the project, and my project name is the my fast project. So now if you want to access this folder, so here you have to actually change your, so right now we don't need this. So here you have to change your directory. So if you want to change that directory, here you have to write down as a CD. That means the change directory, and then the space and our project name. So our project name as a my fast project. So they have also one of the shortcut keys. So here if you put as a M, that means our first letter, and after that if you put as a tab, then automatically it will be get our appropriate this directory name. Okay, so after that I just simply click as a enter. Now you can see we are now in our this particular folder area, that means the my fast project, right? So now here if you want to find out all that directory, then they have also another command as a directory. So I just simply define as a dir, click on the enter. Now you can see in particular this directory, that means in particular that folder, they have also one of the manage.py, one of the file, and also they have the another project as a my fast project folder. Okay friends, so whatever the things in particular this directory, so now it's perfectly visible all that file. So now here if you want to run that Python server, then they have also another command in our manage, that means in our manage.py they have also one of the building command for run our run server. Okay, so here I just simply define as a Python. Okay, I just simply define as a Python and then our this file name, so that is our manage.py, so I just simply define as a manage. Okay, I just simply define as a manage.py. As I told you, they have also one of the building function, that is our run server. So I just simply define as a run and the server. And now if you click as a enter, and now here you can see friend, now it's actually giving you one of the ports. So that is our HTTP, our one of the servers. So I just simply copy it. And now here if you go and run this one, click on the enter. Yes, now you can see friend, now it's showing as a the installed, it works successfully, congratulations. That means the Django is now successfully installed and that is our server. So here if you run that as a python manage.py.run server, then it will be give you that started development server. So that is our development server link, right? So if you now run it, now you can see it's now perfectly display our Django. So friend, we successfully installed our Django and also we successfully installed our Python, right? So how can do that work? I think is very much clear to you. In our next video, I want to discuss about like here by default one of the run servers, so that is our run server port. So if you want to change that port, like right now there is a 8000. So if you want to change that port with the 7000 or the 6000, how can change it? In our next video, I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video.